Smile.
Please. Okay, now, morning.
Calling to make sure I knew, to tell me that you were here, and to get me to get in touch with you.
Yeah, that was so nice.
So, your grandfather, I think it was around 1981 or 2. I was away at college, but I came home and I had been working on the Plaskett family. And when I started, because my grandmother is a Plaskett, and so I had started interviewing people in my immediate family, and then I sent out to everybody, every Plaskett in the phone book. I called and got their mailing address.
Oh my goodness.
And then contacted them and sent them a form and said, tell me, because we didn't know. All we knew was 2 brothers came from Ireland or Scotland, and everybody descended from that. That was the folklore in our family.
I see.
And so when I did that, like when I was in maybe 9th grade, and then one year I came home from college, and my father said, you got to go meet this gentleman. I've been told about it, Victor Plaskett in Puerto Rico. So we went down together, and we interviewed him, and of course he was Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
And your aunt Lillian. No, was it Bernice? Who was living with him?
Well, Bernice also. She was in New York, came back.
I think it was Bernice who was living with him at the time. And I could go back and look because I have letters from both of them. But she was more so, you know, don't worry about the past, you gotta worry about saving souls, blah, 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 you know. So that was her focus. But he was happy to talk about the family. And so he gave me his information. And children's names and everything. That's why I knew about your father. I never met him, but I knew him. And then I remember he said to me, what's your last name again? And I said, Jacobs. And he said, did you know Milton Jacobs? And at the same time, my father, and I answered, and I said, that's my grandfather. My father said, that's my father. And he said, well, I grew up with Milton. And we knew nothing about my grandfather except his name. And we had a family Bible that had his parents' names. My aunt had a family Bible that had his parents' names. And so he was the one who told us where my grandfather grew up in Frederickstead. He was the one who told us that my grandfather had a brother that nobody knew about, and who had died as a teenager. And he died of Hansen's disease, which is leprosy.
Leprosy?
And at that time there was still in the late 1800s there was still a leper colony here. And then he told us his name, which was Frank, and my father had a brother named Frank. And so now we knew that he got named after his uncle, but nobody knew. The story never got passed on. And so it was really an eye-opener for us because we knew my grandfather's family was from Frederickstead, but that's all we knew. So now all of a sudden they grew up in Cologne, he had a brother named Frank who died young. You know, and so right to me, and hers was always, you know, focused on the present. But very polite. You know, very, and so I treasure having some letters from him.
And her was just a cousin I met like 4 years ago. Her name is Lorraine. And when we speak, you know, I was talking about the election back when Obama was first running, and I said the voting, I wanted everybody. And she says, we don't vote. This is don't. And then she gave me a long text of scriptures. And just everything about Jehovah God. And I said, well, I'm a Baptist myself. But it was okay. I didn't get upset. But she got a little, I thought a little, you know, uppy about it.
So you didn't grow up knowing your aunts and uncles?
Yes, I knew them vaguely though. You see, my mother and father separated when I was 3. I'm the firstborn. But I've been in touch with my father throughout the years. And so I didn't get to know much on his side. I knew I've seen Aunt Lillian, the oldest sister. I don't know any of my uncles, Will or Victor. I met my grandfather. and he used to call me girl. And then I met my other aunts. I knew Aunt Alma. She was real close. So they were all up north, up to New York.
All right. Is anybody who picks up for Esther? And Esther was from the second marriage.
Yeah, she's from the second marriage. She's the only one left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I had asked her that.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
I was curious also about my grandmother, the first wife. My grandfather's first wife. I don't know anything about her.
If I remember
Or her
correctly,
name even.
she's a, I want to say McPherson. Let me go look for my computer, and then we can go into the library for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll look in there.
Oh,
Okay. So let me just finish one thing with Summer,
All
and
right,
then I'll meet
sure.
you. I do a rinse with coffee.
Oh, really?
My hairdresser does it. She mixes a very strong coffee with conditioner, and
Ooh.
she puts that on.
What
So
does it do for you?
it really acts as a conditioner, so you
Yes.
feel the difference in the texture of your hair. But it also works like a rinse, but it's a very light rinse.
Very light.
So what it does is it makes the black blacker,
Oh, okay.
and so the white.
Yes,
Yeah.
it stands out.
And so last week when I went to her, we should have done a picture. My hair looked a lot more gray.
Oh, I see.
And after that rinse, it
You're
just,
young.
so if I did it every week, it probably would over time
Yes.
be even more noticeable.
Yes.
But it's just to have that balance. I don't want
Yes.
to color it all, but
I
just,
know. I'm tired of the chemicals now. Well, you know, my father had the beauty salon, and
Yeah.
that's all we
You gotta
we hair
legacy to
people.
keep up.
Yeah. And my brother,
This has it.
he's has it now.
Okay.
And he's like his clone as far as his work, the way he does.
Really?
He's got good business there.
Wow,
Have you been to New
No,
York?
I've been to New York, but
Yes.
I've never been to the
Oh, you
South.
have to go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the, you know, I'll get your card or whatever.
Okay, yeah, we'll get it
And you can,
exchanged.
Yeah.
You're on my
okay?
cell phone, you're on my
Oh,
computer
good,
already because I
good.
saved it last night.
Yes.
So I'll get
He
your
would
address
love
and
to
stuff.
see you.
Really?
And I have a
Okay.
sister,
Well, you know.
Vicky.
You know, Joseph was the first black man to have a property on Park Avenue and 59th Street.
Lexington Park.
My father was really proud of him.
Oh, yes.
He was really
Yes,
proud
he
of
was,
him.
right?
He talked about
Yes.
him. He
Yeah.
really did.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
think he was proud of all his
All the
children.
children,
Yeah,
yes.
he really was. We never, as I was telling you last night, there's this repetition of names.
Yes.
And it makes it hard sometimes when you're researching.
Yes.
But I know for sure that your great-grandfather was a Joseph.
He was a Joseph.
He was
So my
Joseph.
father was named after his
Right,
grandfather.
right.
I
But we haven't
What
been
about
able
the
to find
great-grandmother?
who Joseph's parents are yet.
I
That
say.
first Joseph.
That first Joseph.
And we have, it's not gonna come to me off the top, but I
Okay.
have,
You have it.
I have Joseph's wife and I have her parents. So I've got that much.
You got that much. That's good.
That much.
Mhm.
So and I'll just pull up my computer.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay,
All
so-
right. Their name is Danish. The statement is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Slain rock sites of the Netherlands. This must be where the master stayed. As they say, Massa. It's a sweet place. Right? Look at that. What a beautiful bed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I could live in this room. It's huge. I could wake up in the morning and look at this.
You think they'll rent it to us? We're bringing our own mattress? It's nice and cool in here.
Look at the windows all the way.
Bully. History. Yeah, I was scared. I was standing up looking at it, and I looking at a horrible thing, and I said,
It says something like in sacred memory of John is it John? Yeah, John Plaskett, who died on such and such date,
Yes.
at such and such age. So you can work back his birthday, and of his wife Isabel, and the same thing, the date of death, full date of death, and the age of death, and of their son Wilford, who died on the passage to St. Croix, and this son who died on St. Croix, and this other son who died in England, late of St. Croix.
Okay.
And so he goes through 5 boys, and of the 2 sisters, the 2 daughters, same thing. And so, and then at the end it says something like, this is caused to be erected by their son Joseph of St. Croix, Joseph Plaskett.
Oh, okay.
And this is in 1848. And he has the plaque erected, I believe, around July. And then apparently either the plaque wasn't completed or there had been space at the bottom.
Yes.
Because then the sign maker adds to it. And also in memory of Joseph Plaskett, who died at St. Croix September 5th, 1848.
Oh.
So shortly after he commissioned this,
Yes.
he died. But the plaque is a family tree. So that's how we went from the story of 2 brothers to actually knowing that there were 6 brothers and 2 sisters.
Right.
And that all the brothers headed to St. Croix, but one didn't make it. One died on the way.
I see.
And that's how we got their parents' names and everything. So Winnie took that plaque and then started going through the census records and the church records, trying to trace, okay, then who are their descendants?
Yes.
And that's why she has all these binders.
Oh, that's
about
so
Plaskett.
She this is her cousin, Winnie.
That you're gonna
Winnie?
meet tomorrow.
Oh, that's funny.
Winifred, you're
Yes.
gonna meet
Oh,
her.
wow.
So Winnie and I, it turns out that Winnie and I are descended from, Winnie and I and the cousin who got the picture
Yes.
are descended from the Joseph who did the plaque.
Okay. All right.
That
Yes.
he's our great-great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
And so we have him, and we pretty much know, because he left a will when he died. He had, almost all the brothers had children with black women.
Okay.
I don't think any of the brothers were married. But for instance, in his will, and there's a copy in that folder I was telling you, it's hard to read because it's a very dark thing, but he actually leaves property to his children and to Angelita James, the mother of my children.
Oh.
So he actually recognizes
So
her
nice, yes.
and leaves property. One of his brothers, Timothy, they all owned slaves.
Yes.
They all owned slaves.
Yes.
Timothy, at his death, frees his children and their mother and gives the mother the name Plaskett. Because he lists her as Sophia Plaskett. There's no record they ever got married, but he actually gives her his name because he names her Plaskett in the census. So, you know, it's a mixed experience when you're doing this because, okay, you're so excited because you found these ancestors, you finally know where the name Plaskett came from, but then as you research them, you realize they all own slaves.
I see. Yes, yes.
And so there's this mixed thing. And then so we've been able to follow Timothy because we've got his children, got his wife. The 2 who got here first, John and...
These are the slave masters.
Of the brothers that came, there's one named John see in the records baptizing a number of children.
I see.
But it never says that he is their father.
The father. I see.
But because the way the church kept the record, if they were baptizing an enslaved person, they listed the slave owner's name.
I see.
So we could assume that they're John's children. So far, we don't know.
Yes.
And I don't know if you got to meet the lady that was singing Cariso.
No, I didn't.
Did you go to the
She
drummer?
was in the room.
No, we
Yeah.
didn't.
She was in the room.
Yeah.
She's descended from one of those children that John baptized.
Oh.
So in her case, we don't know. We were just talking about this the other day, that
Another
we need to
cousin or
talk to
something?
somebody who knows about DNA
Yeah.
to see how do we test to see if she's related by blood to the Plasketts.
Oh, yes.
Or,
right.
you know, did he just take on the name when he got free?
I
So
see.
that's one of the next steps for us,
Yeah.
is to figure out, is it a male? We need to have, who needs to be tested
Yes.
to see if we can figure that out.
Right.
It's just
Yes,
amazing.
I understand
And
that.
I mean, I was really blessed to meet your grandfather because I was away at school. I could have missed it.
Yes.
But I came home and my father said, you know, I found out about this gentleman, you gotta meet him. And went and met him. And so his records, his information is some of the oldest information I have. But it's always been hard to find these other brothers that his father had. Because there are other Timothys. And there's other Maximilians.
Okay.
But I can't find a Joseph, a Timothy, and a Maximilian together in one household.
I see.
So until we find one of their baptisms, and it gives us so we track everything. We put down everybody we find.
Yes.
We put them down because sooner or later they're connected somehow. So we
Yes,
don't
yes.
find that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
But
amazing
it's
stuff.
exciting to have
Yes,
you
it
here.
is. And
really
I'm
is.
so happy to meet you.
Yeah. We're gonna do a book
Bless
on the
you, God
Plaskett.
bless you. Oh, yes.
The
Yes.
PowerPoint that I couldn't find, that my son is looking for at home, we did a workshop last year called, it was called the Plaskett Family Solving the Puzzle of Kinship. Because there's so many Plasketts that don't know how they're related.
Yes.
So we did a gathering where we were trying to gather information for people to find out.
Ricky got to come.
She gotta come. You gotta make a trip just for this.
Yes.
July
And
is
Joseph, too, the youngest one. He said, you guys know more than I do. Because he's
Well,
the
tell him
baby.
he can come do here.
Okay.
That's okay.
That'll be
He can do
good.
it. But it really would be good. In July, we have a program called Come Home to St. Croix. It's 8 days, and it's really designed to encourage families to have reunions.
Oh, great.
The whole week is focused on history and culture, celebrating
wow.
history and culture.
that's
So there's something going on every day during that month, that week.
Yeah.
And they always tease me, and they say 7 days weren't enough, so we made our week 8 days. We were Sunday to Sunday.
Okay.
So it's a good time to come, and if we know that you're coming, like I'll probably get Jerry to keep looking, because we've looked for this before, you know, we've
Yes,
looked
I know
for your
you said you
grandfather's
started
family,
it.
then we'll kind of put it down for a while because we're not getting anywhere, but we can try to make sure that when you come, there's somebody here who can work with you.
And also, we're having a reunion, the Plaskett, in New York, August 1st, I think. Esther told me.
Is Lisa the one organizing it? Her daughter Lisa?
Well, I don't know if she's the organizer. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I know she tried
she's
before.
like that.
She was
Okay.
trying to do a
so I
cruise
think
or
maybe
something
that's
at one
what
point.
because she lives in Fort Lauderdale, right? So I said, well, good. They're going to let me know exactly when, because they've been dying to meet me too. I haven't met Esther at all.
You got
Nor
it.
Lisa. Yes, that's right.
The other thing we need to ask your Aunt Esther, and it's a question I always ask older people.
Yes.
Who are you related to?
Right.
Just give me the names. Just tell me,
Start
because
right
sometimes they don't know, but sometimes that's the key I need. Like somebody will say a name and I'll go, okay, we're related to them too. So, you know, and you look and, but if you can interview your stepmother.
Yes.
And just let her tell you everything she's going to
Everything
tell
she
you.
knows. And she tells me a
Bunny.
lot. Bunny.
Yeah.
I told him about yesterday. We talk on the phone forever. And she says, did you know such and such? And, you know, certain things that happened. Because she knew I wasn't around for part of that time. So she said, I think you should know this. And she tried to explain almost even how my mother and father broke up. So they were too young. My mother was 15 when she had me. And he was like 17, 18.
They weren't ready.
So they weren't ready. And I understand that. Even my mother said, oh, we were too young. You know, she remarried later on, and I have 4 brothers on that end, you know. But It's good. It's a
But
good
it's
thing.
so good that she has embraced
Oh,
you.
she has.
And that she's
Totally.
because you get
She told me
that
she
connection.
loved me. I told her I love her.
And she's in New York?
She's in New York. Yeah,
So you
she's
get to
upstate
see
New
her?
York. Well, she kind of
Where
lives a couple of
upstate?
hours. Patterson, New York.
Okay. Because we had some cousins in Buffalo. And I still have a cousin in
Oh,
Buffalo.
you'd love this crew, honey. They're
Yeah.
great. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
But we
right.
have
yes.
a cousin, one of my grandmother's brother.
Uh-huh.
He was a Maximilian Plaskett.
Oh, okay.
His grandson lives in Buffalo.
Oh,
He's in his 70s now, but he's also
Yeah.
very fun.
So he's close to my age.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause
Yeah.
well, my stepmother, which I call her mom, and I just asked her recently. We've been close all these times. I said, "Can I call you mom?" She said, "Of course you can."
Oh,
She
but
said,
she
"I
was
love
so
you," and I said,
honored.
"Oh, I love you." Oh, she's such a great looking. She may come. I don't know. She can come down.
Work on it, work
I'll
on it.
see. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
because
Well, Joseph
she-
said he'd get everybody down here.
yeah, my brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he is excited
Let's do
about
it.
that.
And
Yeah.
you guys can
And
yeah,
we
man.
come and have a
Definitely.
powwow.
It'd be
Right?
great. And
Yes,
then
to get together.
just to be able to sit and
sit
talk,
around
and
and
there's so
talk.
many Plasketts here.
Yeah.
There are, I've lost track, but I always say
Yeah.
the Plasketts are the largest family in the
Do you
country.
know
Is that
why?
right?
I think so. We
Really?
haven't counted, but I know they are.
Whoa.
Yes.
Because it was unusual to get 8 European men showing up with the same last name
That's true.
from the
Hey,
same
they're all
family. Because
brothers.
usually, the oldest son would inherit,
Right.
and then the youngest sons might be the ones who would come to make their fortune.
Yes.
But you had so many of them, and they had so many male children.
Ah. And so that means wives and more children.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a set in Canada
Mm-hmm.
that there's a famous astrologer.
Okay.
There's a star named after Plaskett,
Okay.
and they come out of that line. The brother who died on the passage,
Mm-hmm.
they come from one of his sons.
Oh.
And his
okay.
son came here
Mhm.
and lived here, and then the family moved and they went to Canada.
Oh, I see.
So they're
okay.
there's a group in California
Uh-huh.
that I think connects to the Canadians.
Right.
But when I send you Winnie's chart, just remember
Yes.
it's an old chart. There's some
Okay.
stuff missing.
Yes.
But she kind of outlined all the brothers and who their
Okay.
descendants were.
Oh.
So it gives you a sense. So
Good
we
idea.
just want to figure out where do we plug in
Yes.
your
yes,
grandfather?
Yes.
Where does he go?
Yeah.
You know. But
Could you just turn on this way?
with
Who,
one
me?
Just that way.
Oh.
with one of the brothers being named Joseph,
Yeah.
they all seem to name children. Joseph, the original Joseph,
how did you-
didn't have any sons named Joseph,
Okay.
but he named a son William,
yes. And
and
he
he
had.
named a son Maximilian.
Mhm.
So he named after his siblings
I see.
and after some of their children, and then his brothers named children after him. And after they all, which one was the one? Wilfred died on the voyage. I think almost all of them named a Wilfred. There's a brother Isaac who dies fairly young, and they name children Isaac.
Oh,
So they
after the
keep
ones who
using the names in the family.
Over and-
Even their sisters' names
Okay.
get repeated.
Right.
So
right.
we're guessing that means they were close
Yes.
to each other that they named their
That was,
children.
after their siblings.
So maybe the reason that you've got a Joseph and these other two,
Yeah.
maybe you're somehow connected to this Joseph.
Yeah.
We are fine.
Yeah. We'll see.
I'll go through
All
those
right.
factors.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
God
you so
bless
much.
you.
God bless you
Tomorrow.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be